It's a bright, sunny day in an undisclosed location inside of the United States of America. Two very well-known world leaders are arranged to meet and discuss their policies and differences. The leader of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, and the 32nd President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. These two are getting prepared to meet in private very soon.
What you hearing, listen. It's what you hearing, listen. It's what you hearing, listen. X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop-out from stainless steel. Go hard getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make the mother wonder if you get it. Damn right, and I do it again. Cause I am like so.
Franklin, very nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, very nice to meet you too. Have some things to talk to you about.
For what reasons did you invite me here exactly?
First of all, I understand the power you possess. But what I don't understand is why you would starve, beat, and kill millions of innocent people just because they don't agree on your opinion. This is outrageous.
How dare you disrespect my government and I like that? We are liquidating those.
Forget about the purges and show trials too.
As explaining, we are liquidating those sinister kulaks for resisting against the new collectivization law. If you attempt to fight back, there should and will be punishments for not only the rebel, but the rebel and his family.
There are plenty of other ways to counter the protesters instead of sentencing an innocent person to quite literally work to death. The purges and show trials were rigged too.
Show trials are very complicated. Also, we don't rig the trials, we manipulate the outcome.
You literally just confessed to me that the show trials are rigged. You uncultured swine.
Anyways, after Lenin's death, someone had to run the country, and it definitely wasn't gonna be Trotsky. My 5-year plan helped industrialize the USSR. Coal production has almost doubled, and oil production has tripled in volume. We need these resources to expand the USSR's military and country as a whole.
So let's get this straight. Your country's national symbol is a hammer and a sickle. Which represents industry and agriculture. So instead of scrapping the idea of collectivization and angering almost every single best farmer in your country, why didn't you find another way or concept to boost agriculture since it's such a big part of your country's symbolism?
Actually, mass production of farming tools, such as tractors, have been given to the kulaks to motivate easier, more efficient, carefree farming. If vehicles were broken or manual labor was in use, there were punishments.
I did not hit you! Why are you running? I guess you're running a very strict totalitarian state.
I've done much more for the USSR than anybody has. I transformed my country from complete poverty to the industrial giant it is today.
Completely agree with you, however, you didn't really transform it in the most ethical way. I mean, the liquidation, murder, of thousands is just not right.
Well, compared to your horrific ideologies and policies, I've completed way more in my 12 years of office than you've ever done. You don't even have a secret police.
You know what? You crack me up. You know, our former President Hoover, ran the country like a peasant compared to me. When we had our election, I completely and utterly demolished him by numbers. The people wanted and needed a change, and that's why they chose me. We were in a great state of depression, and I brought all the poor back to their feet. We didn't even have a financial system at the time.
Well, then what did you do, considering that Hoover left you with nothing to work with?
I've done more in the first 100 days of my leadership than anybody has done.
What? Explain this to me.
Well, first of all, I created over 100,000 jobs for the poor, which helped them gain money to get back on their feet. I also ended prohibition. I also did the Federal Relief Act, which gave the poor $500 million back to, again, restore faith.
Well, giving the poor that much money, which I don't think was a very good idea, what would they even do with it?
They can use their money on consumer goods such as vehicles, washing machines, radios. They could also invest their savings in the stock market, which has been booming lately. Speaking of savings, I also managed to reboot almost every prominent bank throughout America, which completely restored faith in the financial system so they can save their money there. That act alone put America back on track.
But what about the rich? Did they receive any government involvement like the poor did?
They don't need any government involvement. They're doing fine for themselves.
But the rich are more important!
Considering how you came from a poor family, I'm sure you wouldn't appreciate the help from the government.
The rich are the foundation for successful businesses and industries.
True, but who's going to work in those factories? Middle or lower class citizens. And if they don't have anything to work with, how will the business strive?
Simply set targets for production. If they don't meet those targets, simply punish them.
There are targets we'd like to meet, but see, unlike you, we don't torture the workers.
Why not? Only way to set them straight. Teach them a lesson.
So you want to strike fear into the eyes of your citizens? You want them to be scared of you? Is that really how you're playing, Stalin? Is that really
Scared of me?
sure about that?
People have goals and are motivated to do their absolute best, or else they will be disposed of.
Your new deals weren't any different.
Are you kidding me? My deals not only created jobs, but it benefited our overall economy.
Did they triple your country's production of coal, oil, and agricultural goods?
It's kind of similar. The alphabet laws helped the industry greatly. The CCC created tons of jobs for young men planting trees. Also, the WPA, which financed the construction of roads, schools, hospitals, and dams. The first New Deal also abolished child labor and created 8-hour working days and 40-hour work weeks. Something you've never implemented. You overwork your citizens to the bone for what? 20 more sheets of steel for your military? You should be focused on other problems within your country. You have provided almost no government aid towards the weak. Instead, you killed them. You may be very respected by the higher class, but you need to think about the other people in your country. It's not all about brute force and intimidation.
Sometimes when rebellion occurs, someone needs to stop it. Your country includes the KKK and...
Let's not talk about that. But the black people right now, Stalin.
Is there anything else we need to discuss before I leave this dreadful country?
Actually, we haven't even covered my second New Deal yet.
Okay, fine. What is so special about it?
Second New Deal was aimed to redistribute wealth, income, and security to the poor. For example, the Wagner Act in 1935 eliminated weak banks by closing them down and only left the strong ones open, as I mentioned before. They restored people's faith in the banks, which was essential for the country's economy.
What will banks do for your country? We like to focus on the essentials, like farms, military. Anything other than farms or military will just be taken for granted by your people.
In our society, our people aren't slaves. They can work hard and still have an enjoyable life. We give our people freedom.
And are not used to being spoiled rotten with luxury cars, radios, and government handouts.
My citizens have food and a chance to escape the lower class and not having to work themselves to death.
You know what? Enough is enough!
As the story unfolds, the two leaders look each other in the eyes, not another word is spoken, but instead they exchange nods and depart back to their homes. Although they may not agree with each other, At least now they understand one another's thoughts and strategies.
Stalin, it's very nice to meet. Stalin?
Yes.
Talk to you about.
Gang!
Got some nice lens flare in there.
Lenin and several other government freaks want Hype Beast Nation!
Oh no, it's the Red Army. Oh my god!
Give me a
Forgets the script at the house.
Adam Sandler dies in Hero 6. I am studying. Rich, did they receive any government involvement? I am sarcastic.
Oh, I look for the
Our second New Deal was aimed to can't say redistribute. We did it!
Suck up yet!
Okay. Did it!
Suck up yet!
We did it!
We are lit and are not used to being spoiled with luxury cars, radios, and government handouts.
What are you doing?
Oh, you have a big line. You have a big line.
Ba 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 bum bum. Ba dum bum 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 bum. Ba da dum.
Mayonnaise! Mayonnaise!